Good day, everyone. We're here to present about the topic evaluating messages. We encourage all of you to listen and focus as we share the informations that we gathered so that you will gain more knowledge and ideas about our topic. But first, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Maira Paler,
And I am Crisiah Japitana.
and we are your teachers for today. So let's start knowing more about evaluating messages. I have a question for you. Why do you think evaluating messages is important to us students? Not just only to students, but to all people rather. Well, evaluating messages is important because it is essential for us to be able to know the real intention of the author or what is the true meaning behind that message. Because we must admit that sometimes we interpret or generalize the message in a wrong interpretation. I have here a conversation where I want you to evaluate this situation. But first, let me read it for you. How are you feeling? Dude, what happened last night? I think my arm's broken and my car is wrecked. Well, you were so drunk that you climbed to the top of your garage. You started yelling and jumped off and landed on your car. And you didn't take me to the hospital? I was too busy laughing. So first question, what is the mood in the conversation? Well, it can be a humorous one, right? It means to say that this is not a heavy conversation nor a serious one. So can you tell me what is the hidden meaning behind the word how are you? We can say that Alfred is the person whom this message was sent to and his friend was the sender. So what is the meaning behind the message how are you? You can relate it to your personal experiences. When do you ask someone, how are you? So yeah, his friend is asking him with concern. Every time we ask this question, it means a sign of concern. Dude, what happened last night? I think my arm's broken and my car is wrecked. So what is the meaning of this statement? Can you tell me what is the meaning of this statement? So, Alfred felt pain, but he didn't know why he was feeling it. That's why he asked his friends about it. Now, the question is, why do you think the friend of Alfred didn't bring him to the hospital? Did Alfred really break his arm? I think it's not. Because if you know that your friend is in a bad condition, definitely you will bring him to the hospital. But knowing here in this conversation, his friend is only laughing at him, then it is quite obvious that the incident was not a serious one. So what do you think the relationship between Alfred and the other one? Well, obviously, they are not only friends, but they are best friends. Based on what we do, how we should evaluate a message. We can evaluate message by looking at to the context clues. We also need to evaluate the mood of the situation. We shouldn't easily judge the message. When you try to read our example given, you might think or say that the friend of Alfred is a bad one because he didn't help him. Well, we shouldn't conclude without analyzing the situation. In evaluating messages, we need to ask questions about the message itself. If you are a critical thinker, you might even consider the source of the message. We all know that in our generation today, social media become a very powerful tool in communication. We have seen a lot of people sharing messages that didn't even know where it came from or what is the meaning behind that message. or didn't know if it is reliable nor true. As a student of purposive communication, we should consider the content of the message. We shouldn't easily make judgments. We should understand it clearly and analyze it correctly. There are certain rules in how to evaluate messages, and it is important for us to learn it. First, when we evaluate a message, we need to look at them through several lenses, which is helpful as culture is arbitrary in nature. Example: some statement or message is a little bit easy to understand, but if you dip within it, you would be able to realize that there are hidden meaning behind that message. We need to look at it in different lenses: your lens, the character lens, and the author lens. Next is unlocking messages is essential to evaluation. In unlocking messages, there are several questions needed to be answered. And what are those questions? Strategic questions, like what is the general motive of the message? What is the meaning of the message? Next is being mindful to elements that make up the book of the illustrations or message that help the reader to assess the meaning of the elements. Informations can be overwhelming, right? That is why we need to take it one step at a time for us to be able to understand every pieces of informations.
How about we try some activity? What do you think is the message the image tries to convey? We could tell that there is a picture painting the words 1,000 words. Can you tell me what does it mean? Yes, the message is conveyed by the image itself. Simply by seeing the image, we can easily understand what it tries to reach us. The photo indicates that any picture can paint 1,000 words. It has evolved into an idiom, which refers to the notion that one image can convey a story as effectively as a large amount of descriptive text. What about another picture? Different from the first example, this image is saying something without any words plastered on the image. In this, we need to deepen our understanding of what it tries to reach us. As obvious, there is a brain. With it are hands that try to hold it. Along with it is a book and a computer. What do you think is the image expresses? Yes, the brain symbolizes the focus of someone. The hands in the book tries to steal the focus, but the hands in the computer are much in number. This tells us about today's dilemma. In finding our focus, computers are able to steal our interest rather than books, especially in today's generation where books are untouched and gadgets are overused. So these are the easy steps before evaluating messages. So we have to consider: one is to determine what you will evaluate. Is it a picture? Is it a message? Is it a text message? So you have to know your context first on the topic that you will be evaluating. The second one is to define your goal. What is your goal? What is your instance? What is your goal in evaluating? So the third one is to state your objective. What is your objective, specific objective? The fourth one is to identify your audience. Who are your audience? Are they teachers? Are they students? Establish your baseline. So it's very important to have this baseline. That's why knowing the culture of the author is very important in evaluating a message, so that you would be able to at least acknowledge the author, and by doing so, you are showing some respect to the author by not misjudging the message that is being conveyed by.